That's all we can play without getting sued because it's Prince and he's really about his copyright. Hello, my name is Luke and welcome to the Raggedy Couch Podcast. This is episode number motherfucking 7, and I'm accompanied by my amazing host.
Oh, motherfucking D.
And we are here today to bring you the top shelf debauchery. Hope that your week was good. Hope that your life was good. Bro, how did you enjoy our fucking 420 podcast, man? How'd you feel about that shit?
It was really cool. Fucking the whole experience was dope in itself. Thank you again, John, for allowing us to come.
Shout out to John, our producer.
It was just good for people who I've never met before. It was just a very comfortable atmosphere, and they made us feel welcome.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious that like it was like
fucking,
like
podcast going on in the back.
like a fucking gathering happening, and then we were just like, yeah, now let's go, let's just go into the cut.
And it was like mutually, like everyone was cool with what was going on.
Yeah, I don't even know if they were per se, but they were probably just like, all right. I mean, we're not gonna, we can't stop it.
They're fine with it.
A couple people were just were dope enough to come get interviewed by us for whatever fucking reason, but
yeah.
They fucking did that shit. What's been on your mental, OD? What you been thinking about, dog? I got some thoughts, but shit.
Nothing much. I just want to say fuck traffic because on the way here I was letting it get the best of me.
Yeah.
And it's just you just gotta look on the bright side because we got here and we were almost weren't able to even record today. So
some people don't even got cars, pimp. Like when you
Yeah.
think about it, some people don't even got a vehicle to be in traffic. But yeah, man, you were certainly upset. I was trying to crack some jokes. They were working, but it wasn't working the way.
yeah, I was trying to brighten myself up, but it was just frustrating.
Yeah, traffic will do that to you, man. Speaking of traffic and community and society, because that's all really what traffic is. It's society on a street going to a place, trying to function. And a large majority of the reason why traffic exists is because of people's looking down, or people not paying the best of attention, or driving with the sense of urgency that they need to. So I've been thinking, right, and I've been because this podcast is a part of my life, a part of your life as well, right? So I've been thinking, like, what is something that we need to discuss to further this shit, right? And mind you, we don't come in here and talk like we don't have anything written down or any sort of a plan, but I'm thinking, like, what could we tell, or what should the community know, our community where we're from, the little town that we're from, what do they need to be told? What do they need to hear? Because that's who we're reaching. You know what I mean? We're reaching people who either went to school with us, know us from, God knows what. But what do those people, because we're able to access them, because we're able to, be a part of they're hearing this from somebody who came up with them. What do you feel like people nowadays, kids our age, people from our community, need to hear, need to know, need to feel?
That's a tough question for me to answer. If anything, I would just have to say, do what you love to do. Find something that you're passionate about, and just, especially while you're young, just attack that shit. Express yourself, whether that's through like music or art or teaching yoga or whatever the fuck you like to do. Just continue to attack that, especially at our age, and try not to get caught up in feeling obligated to do certain things based on other people or like even like your parents. Just like try to do shit that you love to do. Let's all fucking mutual connection and build each other up.
Exactly. Instead of trying to, do you feel oftentimes that people from our community tend to gravitate towards things that are the opposite? So like, look, we're from an area where while there is like rich ass people, there's also just like normal middle class human beings, but it's not at a poverty stricken environment, right?
Yeah.
So would you say that the kids that are from where we're from are more susceptible to being coaxed into thinking that the hood lifestyle or that the ghetto lifestyle or that the new trendy lifestyle is the lifestyle to gravitate towards, and you think that they get caught up in a lot of that shit?
Yeah.
And do you see it like I see it firsthand with a lot of
Yeah, me as well. I think it's just since hip hop and rap and that type of vulgar and expression is becoming pop culture, or it already is pop culture.
yeah
They just it's the cool thing to do right now and to be a part of, or it's just impressionable kids, especially young kids. They just gravitate towards what's cool and what seems cool, and people are also attracted to violence and danger. Especially if you've never partaken in it, it intrigues people.
yeah
So it's just it's just people are just attracted to it for whatever reason.
yeah
But then like you don't see that with grown adults, and I think there's a reason for it because it just takes time. Some certain people it just takes longer to realize and mature and understand what's right and what's wrong. It's just you have to grow into it. I'm not necessarily like mad at it, but because eventually you're gonna figure it out and you're gonna realize it's really a detriment. And even the people from those environments will even tell you that. So
yeah most definitely, bro. I feel like we kind of realize that. I mean, probably obviously like on an individual level, I feel like because our parents both came from like humble beginnings and were instilled with the with the values that were taught from there. I feel like that's what allowed us to be friends. You know what I mean? Early on, because we knew like we're like we like would laugh at the kids who were pretentious. You know what I mean? We'd laugh at the kids who would be like unnecessary. Like they would think that they were like trying to fit in, but in reality, it was like making themselves more alienated by not being themselves, by pandering to what they think that we would like how we would operate, like pandering to like how they would assume that we would talk to each other. Like there's people who, bro, I don't know what it is, but fucking random kids who I don't white kids, whatever the fuck, kids who just like who aren't about necessarily how they sound, will talk to me in a way that I'm just like, dude, why are you talking to me like that? Like, why are you like, no, you know what I mean? Like, I am, don't call me slang. You know what I mean?
That would boggle my mind.
And I don't know, bro. I think that's always been something that I've realized, and I wonder how much of that is just the universe's way of saying, okay, well, your genealogy, your fucking, wherever your origins are from, decided to be racist. Therefore, we're gonna instill this little bit of a thing in you to make you want to be that other race.
Or majority of hate or hatred, if we're gonna go back that far, stems from jealousy, either jealousy or the fear of not knowing something. So if you think about people who are, I guess we'll use this example, like super like Confederate, like white people who don't like black people.
Yeah.
A lot of psychologists will argue that most of it where it stems from is just being afraid or not knowing or being jealous of some like.
I think racism started because black people historically had bigger weenies than non-black people.
Do you think it's also like the stature too of like black people?
Probably. I mean, just overall, bro. Like my fucking
big weenies.
My fucking one of the humanities teacher, he was telling us that the reason why, and mind you, I'm like I'm comfortable to talk about all this stuff because I'm all the races that I insult and big up and all at the same time. So my humanities teacher was telling me that the reason why people have fair skin or have different colored eyes or have different types of hair is because, and mind you, this is a white man who up until he said this, made me realize or made me think that he was like a super right-wing conservative Trump supporter based on everything else that he's been talking about. But he fucking said that the ideal perfect human. Let me pause this real quick. Let me get back to my point that I said before I started talking about other shit. The reason why people got fair skin, the reason why people got light colored eyes is because there's a broken chain in their genetics.
Yeah.
He said a you know
Oh,
perfect
okay.
human has darker skin.
Like a purebred.
Exactly, has darker skin, darker eyes, darker hair, and hair that protects them from the sun, which is therefore a black person. We all originated from Africa.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it's crazy that it like kind of flip where if if we're if we're talking about like science and your teacher saying that, I guess the purest or the most like in a science based sense, the most perfect human being someone derived from Africa. It's kind of weird how over time it's been flipped to like the lighter your skin and the lighter your complexion, the better
Yeah.
you look in the,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Even within the black community,
Right, yeah.
and even with we talked about this last podcast because we were fucking charging up in the sun. Like literally, like black people will be like, "I'm not about to stand outside because I don't
Yeah.
want to get blacker."
Yeah.
But like the fact that you're able to is just a blessing in itself, and like what I mean, like that makes you so much more receptive to the vitamins. But that's neither going here nor there. I definitely think that because of the way that is, that it is, that's why you see kids trying to appropriate it, subconsciously too. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just like I don't know if it's a conscious effort, but I think that they're speaking.
It's just
themselves into
intriguing. Like if you like for us, for example, growing up, like that, like the hood shit, or at least my dad's friends, they're all from that type of environment,
Yeah.
including like my parents themselves. So like growing up, just them coming over to my house, I'm just kind of used to like that type of expression and vocabulary and shit that's been like said,
Yeah.
and just how they talk. And I don't know. So that I feel like that in itself made me not like I wasn't impressed by like it didn't really intrigue me that much.
Yeah.
That type of violence, or if anything, I was just like that's a bad thing. Just because of the conversations and shit that I would have from people who actually, were part of that lifestyle. And when you talk about white kids or just kids in general from the suburbs who were never introduced to that part of that
Mhm.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
are is naturally just gonna be drawn to it just
Yeah.
because they're not really used to that
They
type of
they weren't exposed to it until they were too old.
yeah
To where if they
right
did start
exactly
to, you know what I mean? Because I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was listening to fucking when I was 6 years old. I was listening to Snoop Dogg. Murder
Yeah.
Was the Case,
yeah
and I'm like, as I look up at the I'm over here just like
Yeah.
every word that Snoop Dogg is saying. I'm 6, but I went through that because I was exposed to that shit early. A lot of these kids are
Right.
like, yo, no rap music, no until they get to college.
or they get
and
to high
then
school or whatever. Yeah.
or, you know what I mean? And then they start to be like, oh, okay, well, shit. Now I'm gonna let this really take, because I could be free, quote unquote. But
Yeah.
um, but yeah, man, I even think that like the perfect example that would be just like that is when so I'm not proud of it, but I've been smoking weed since I was 12, right?
Yeah.
Like off and on, but like frequently since I was 12. My brothers and sisters smoke weed, and like it's just like I grew up around it, so I've just been introduced to it. And then when I got into high school, like junior senior year, you see other kids just now picking up the habit, and like it's like a whole 180. But I'm not gonna be like I'm not over here gonna sit like, oh, I'm cooler than you or anything like that. But I'm just saying like I've been seeing what this is about, and for you to be as old as you are doing it, and trying to spin it in a way that's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm dope now.
Yeah.
Like, nah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyone who's like super close to me knows that like I come from most of my family smokes weed. So I literally seen weed when I was like 3 years old. I remember like my dad and his friends like rolling up on the table like fucking talk to me like regular. It's just regular shit.
Yeah.
So even like someone being like your age, like 12 or 13, like smoking, like it didn't like surprise me. Like I wasn't like, well, what the fuck? What is that? Like I literally grown up seeing seeing this shit like all
Yeah.
the time. So, yeah, that is it's interesting too.
I say it's just it's just a similarity in the sense that it's like, okay, like you guys are just now getting onto some shit that like motherfuckers aren't even like.
Yeah.
A lot of people who smoke, man, they'll tell you like, man, I don't even like, it is what it is. I just do it because I do it, or
Right.
I do it because I need it, or shit, I do it because I have to, and that's the fucking that there's the dichotomy. But shit, I
Yeah.
think but yeah, man, motherfuckers just switching up the way that they talk in the sense that like you know. I fucking tweeted the other day. I was like, motherfuckers will dorm in downtown Chicago,
Yeah.
and come back to the suburbs talking like they're fucking Rondo number 17.
I seen
And
that.
that makes so much fucking sense to me because I've just seen it happen firsthand.
Yeah.
Even with like girls I used to talk to, like you're ghetto now, okay, like all right, Nunu, like you know what I mean, like whatever it is, like whatever floats your fucking boat. But I ultimately think that it's
Yeah, that is.
it's just like an invigoration. They're like, ooh, I like that shit.
Yeah, that is weird to me too.
Yeah.
John, just for my my psyche, can you put fucking the preview on camera 2?
Cámara tú.
Yeah.
I think
Just for my brain. No. Yeah, I don't know. I'm weird. I just wanted it on 2. Okay, cool. That right there was Orlando Brown. He was in an argument with his wife, and I had to grab that clip because it was fucking hilarious. You broke my phone?
what happened to Orlando Brown? Where'd he go?
I don't know actually. I don't know what he's
He
doing right
had
now.
like a hot little stint on the social medias for a minute for being fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
The bitch is sad. She's mad because I am her dad.
Because I am her dad. He was talking to his wife.
Yeah, I was gonna be a dad.
He started rapping. What?
I was gonna be a dad.
You want to disclose that information here?
I don't want to get into it, but I was. Whoever sees it gonna see it.
Okay. Damn. Remember that video you posted of your fucking cat jumping through the thing?
Oh, bro. Back to our pet segment. I think that cats. I think that cats are fucking. Bro, they are bad bitches, bro, through and through. And I don't think there's any way to, any way around it.
Bro, your cat was on the. It had to have been like we'll just say like a 4-foot like gap between like
Oh
the
yeah.
upper ledge
Oh,
and
yeah.
the lower the fence.
Yes.
And for those who don't know, his cat was on like the lower fucking fence.
I'm gonna put the video up for him just so.
Yeah. And then she jumped through onto the balcony in between like 2 wooden bars, like
Several.
just yeah, she like just like it was nothing, just it just went right in between them and was on the balcony. Like she had us like squeeze through a little bit, but she managed to get through, and it was insane.
She's fucking majestic as fuck, bro.
Like it was so effortless, just
Do the shit with no effort.
that was dope.
That's the song that should have been playing. I was recording it with fucking Isaac Hayes playing, but I didn't think that she was actually gonna do some dope shit. But I was like, shit, this is what this is the vibe that I was hearing in my head.
Do you just let her out and she just comes back, or she just does her own thing outside?
So actually, bro, since we moved back from Oakland, it was my mother's cat, so she gave the cat to my sister, so it's at my sister's house, and pretty
Yeah.
much as soon as you open the fucking door, she
leaves.
Yeah, bro. The thing is, in Oakland, she would be gone the whole day.
Yeah, I remember that.
So she's a hyphy cat.
Like I remember, like in the morning, we were outside just talking or whatever when we were in Oakland, and then we just turned around and she was on the roof, just like she's just fucking chilling on the roof. Like, all right.
Yeah, dude, she's a little fierce little fucker, but she does her thug thizzle nonetheless, man.
I wish you would give her a name.
It's just Kitty, bro.
I guess that works.
Kitty.
Cause cats don't respond to names. I used to try to teach my cat to like her name, like, and have her come whenever I called her, but cats don't give a fuck. Like, they really don't. Like, you can do whatever. You can yell at a cat, they'll just be like, and just like leave. Like, why are you yelling at me?
Yeah, they respond. I feel like a lot to like frequency.
Like, how dare you yell at
You'd be
me?
like,
Yeah. Bro, anytime I would cry or my little brother would cry or my sister, when we were little, she would go in the room and just be, like, in the room, no matter what was happening. Every time someone was crying, she would, like, come in the room.
She'd like come and tend to you.
Yeah, like,
Damn.
well, she wouldn't, like, whatever the fuck they, you know what I mean?
I know
but
exactly
she
what
would,
you mean.
sit, like, if I was crying here and I was 8 years old, She would come right here, like, and just lay down on the table.
What if she fed off that shit? She was like,
She's
yes.
like, ooh, it's pain. I like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. She's like, ooh, somebody's not having a good day. Let me sit here and just be a fucking cat.
She starts licking herself. Like, that'd be fucked up.
My dog used to eat my cat's shit, like from the kitty litter. Like it was like a delicacy. to him.
Yo, same. Was it out the cat box?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would just hear inside the fucking cat litter. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of there.
You know what I think it is? Because that cat litter has like a fragrance in it that like affects cats in a way that they're like, I'm gonna piss on it. Now a dog setup is obviously different, so he's probably like, this smells delicious.
Yeah. He would also smell her ass though, like a dog. Like a dog to another dog, he would smell her ass, and she would like smack the shit out of him, and then leave. It was weird. They had like a mutual fucking like bond where she didn't fuck with him at all. Like he couldn't smell her or run up on her or anything when she would just smack him if he did. But like they're both of their pants or food were next to each other, and they would eat together all the time. But he just couldn't be around her for too long. She would just like hiss and smack him, and then he wouldn't do anything.
You think he was trying to fuck?
Yeah, he was. I think he was, but he kind of knew that it was another species, but they were the same size, and he like, she was a girl. He's a boy. He's not fixed. Like, I feel like he always tried to. That's why he kept smelling her ass, because he had to make sure. Like, are you sure this is not a dog, like a female dog that I can't fuck? But
you think you had the opportunity to fuck a Martian? You would?
No.
No.
I'm afraid of contamination, and it's just weird, man. Like, what the fuck does a Martian look like? What it look like?
That's the risk you run before you say yes to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even touch like another alien like species. I'm not sure if they have some plants that you touch you get poisoned or you die. Like I just would be afraid to touch it.
Hell yeah. So speaking of like space shit like that, right? So my motherfucking
the Earth is flat. But go on.
Houseway.
No, I'm just saying it's like a thing.
So speaking of space and species and things, my motherfucking humanities teacher's the same teacher.
We should have him on the podcast.
Bro, I would love to have him on the podcast. So we'd be laughing the whole fuck. He's not funny.
Yeah,
he's so like he tries to be funny in class, but he's just not funny. But he's really smart. But he's like he's just a fucking goofball in the sense that I laugh at like him trying to be funny any fucking ways, man. He was talking about like evolution is commonly misconstrued in the sense that microevolution, like where our body goes through like slight little changes, like say I don't know how to fucking put it. We'll just use black people for an example. If you stay on the sun long enough, you're going to get darker and darker and darker over thousands of years if your whole family line stays out there. Cool, right? So he said that those microevolutions, those mutations, those little small changes are microevolution, and that's on a micro level, but it's commonly misconstrued as just evolution itself. Say all of that to say, if you understand and accept the fact that you cannot get life from non-life, so you can't get life from non-life, what started with our shit? So he used to over here saying, well, you can't get life from non-life, so where do we come from? And this is, mind you, this is before he had said, about other coding and shit like that. So I'm thinking like, okay, this right-wing fucking conservative Jesus freak is over here talking about like, okay, humans were just like, bah, and then, that was it. So I'm like, nah, we are a fucking manifestation of, because when this earth was getting created, it was constant asteroids colliding and making a mass and blah, blah, blah. So I said fucking these, rocks and shit brought minerals and life and came together, and then those micro fucking things manifested into human. But he was like, how do you get that without divine intervention? And that led me thinking, where the fuck do we come from, dog?
Yeah, that's the world's most valuable question, in my opinion. I don't know. Life could be fucking plants and shit if you think about it. So if we... Yeah, it's just an ongoing question because if you're like
The chicken or the
life,
egg?
yeah, if
Like-
life comes from life, where does it start? Because it has to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How far back can you go? And it's just all confusing.
Yeah, and I'm saying, I'm telling him, I'm like, okay, so what about Australopithecines turning into fucking Homo sapiens? And he was like, well, those are, there's no missing link. There's no fucking, there's no.
It just adapted over time.
It did, but he's saying that's not it's a game of semantics because it is evolution. They are mutating, they are changing, they are adapting to their environment. However, it's not like a new species. That's what he's saying. He's saying it's not like you can't create.
Also, he's saying like those are humans.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that is what he's saying. But he didn't say it like that.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then he's kind of right. Like they
I
are
agree.
humans.
I agree, but it's just fucking. How can you say that that's not evolution? You know.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. In that sense, it definitely is. Like dogs evolving from wolves.
And all that is just same with pigment and features and things like that. It's just a chink in the code. It's just like a broken link in the code where, okay, this part is broken. Now the eyes of the dog are gonna be green. You know what I mean?
The fact that a Chihuahua could come from a wolf blows my mind. I want a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
I want the little Caesar Chihuahua, like the tan ones that are like bald. I want one. Yeah.
Taco Bell.
Just I could just pick them up like this.
Chihuahuas.
They're good. Like if you play video games a lot, they're good gaming dogs.
How so?
Like they just are with you all the time. Like you can have them on your lap and not be a bother.
Their shit must be easy to like handle.
See, I don't like picking up dog shit. Like my girlfriend gives me shit for it, but like the pun. But fucking, is that a pun? No, it's not.
It's not.
All right. Anyways, she gives me shit for it for not picking up shit. But I'm like, it's the dog shit. It's just gonna help the ground. Like, okay, say we take it back 100 years. They weren't really picking up dog shit. They're just letting the shit be there. It's just gonna become dirt. Like, who cares if they're... You see geese shit all the time. Why can't my fucking 12-pound dog, his fucking shit's like 2 ounces. Why can't it just be on the ground? I can see if it was like a giant human turd, but it's a fucking little piece of shit.
Pitbull shit's like human shit. Nah, like half of a human shit. But I refute that with humans didn't have amazing Air Force Ones to roam this planet on. Therefore, they didn't give a fuck if they stepped in it because it probably felt good on their feet and they would wiggle it in between their toes.
Oh.
But in the 21st century, they're like, you know what? I don't want my kicks getting fucked up.
Oh, okay, okay, I see what you're saying.
And it's also like you don't want to smell the shit. You don't want your kid to fall in the shit.
Why don't we smell geese shit?
We probably do, bro, but it's so embedded in the grass because all they eat is grass that you don't eat.
In that sense, then just leave the dog shit on the floor. We're gonna become accustomed to it too.
What is that? What ain't that about? What? We don't pick up geese shit. We don't care about geese shit, but we care about dog shit.
And it's an issue if you don't pick up your dog shit. Like, fuck out of here. It's a fucking dog. You want me to have him shit in my toilet? I used to try to do that when I was little, but that doesn't make sense. You can't do that. Like, I literally tried to potty train my dog to shit in the toilet, and it was not working. When he was a puppy, though, because that's when they can learn the most tricks and shit. So, like, I try to teach him where if I hold him over the toilet, he knows to shit, to, like, go shit. But
he was probably like, "What are you doing?"
It's like put me down. 5 minutes later, he's like pissing on the carpet.
This goes back because we had Wayne on here like 2 weeks ago, right? And he was talking about how he has girls who are on a vegan diet and a carnivorous diet when he's in the studio and shit. So what if it's like because the ducks are on a vegan diet that they're it doesn't smell that bad, and but. Pitbull, I mean, shit, you feed a pitbull anything, but their diets are like chicken based, even though it's like a fucking
Hmm.
kibbles and bits. It's all like chicken and shit.
Yeah, the bigger the dog, the more intense the meat has to be. Like for instance, you want to take that?
Nah, dude,
All right.
it's not a proper call or time right now.
If you take like my dog, like a little Yorkie,
Mm.
10. That's it. Damn, I thought it was like 20, 30 minutes, honestly.
Nah, bro, we started late.
Oh, 10 left? Oh, okay. That's what you're saying. Anyways, I thought you said this was 10 minutes of the podcast. I was like, God damn, that was fast. Anyways, I'll try to make it fast. Fucking small dogs, like, they have to eat fish and, like, super, like, flaky meat and shit like that. And the bigger they get, like, they move to, like, chicken. And then, like, the 80-pound, 100-pound dogs are fucking, it's, like, hard red meat, like,
Yeah.
steak and shit. Like, it just gets progressively.
Bro,
Some people have their dogs vegan, though.
a vegan.
Yeah. Which is retarded. But
If you got a motherfucking a mastiff on a vegan diet, he probably hates you and is just waiting for you to fuck up so he could just bite the fuck out of you. I feel like it's natural for all wolves and dogs to want to just
Yeah.
eat some meat.
that's kind of scary to not even feed if you had, like, a bull mastiff or a pit bull or whatever, and not feed them fucking meat. It's fucking retarded.
It's like in their code to receive that shit. Their body's probably gonna suffer from some sort of something just eating vegetables, but I doubt it. Who fucking knows? There's a lot of like pesticides in that shit though. Yay. Somebody was telling me about the podcast and things, and they were like, I feel like you should talk about relationship things, and I'm like, oh,
I don't know. I don't care.
I'm like, I got some things on my mind. You in a relationship, so
Yeah.
what you like, your opinion is gonna be like about your view on reality, and
Mhm.
my idea is gonna be about mine. So like we get two different perspectives, cause I'm alone in this
Yeah.
world. You got a girl, like, so you can speak from that kind of perspective.
Right.
But shit, man, I think that personally for me, that a relationship is crazy because you want all my time.
You say because they want all your time?
They want the time. They want the attention.
I try to look at a relationship as of like this is gonna sound corny and cliche, but like a friendship, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
if I think of you as one of my friends that we just obviously do sexual things, but like if I look at it us hanging out like I would one of my friends, then it doesn't feel like an obligation to have to hang out with you. I feel like if you make it like this is my girlfriend, I don't know, it just feels like it's obviously you want to have the respect for like your fucking significant other, but
yeah.
I feel like people make it as an obligation rather than just something that you enjoy doing. It's kind of like I have a girlfriend, so that means I have to. Don't make
Yeah.
it seem like you have
No,
to.
that's fucking that would be a crazy way of thinking. However,
I feel like people do it like subconsciously though.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But bro, I
Without
think that
having
those
to.
thoughts only come to fruition when you're not compatible. It seems to me that
Yeah,
you're in a
yeah.
compatible situation where shit makes sense. Most of the time, in my life, I'm realizing that while physical attraction is a big part of it for me,
Mhm.
I feel like that's really what like the only thing it is for me to a degree. But I'm also not closed off to like be willing to like reciprocate that love with the woman. However, I know that if I tell a girl who I think is, because if I find a girl like, okay, I could see this working. I just know because of how I've been raised that I'm gonna do everything in my power to be nice as fuck, to be overly like, not overly, but just properly like, I'm gonna let her know what's like I feel this way, and what I have learned from the women that I've been messing with
Mhm.
is that is a bad idea. To be nice, to show your hand, to do all those things. I've realized now, and how I've been moving recently, is I'm putting myself first as a single person until I can find somebody who's allowing allowing for that proper companionship. You know what I mean? To feel like
Yeah.
I'm with a homie, but I'm gonna kiss this homie in the mouth because she's a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm yet to arrive at that, and man, like I had a girl tell me like she was like I know that you don't have a girlfriend because it just wouldn't make sense. You don't strike me as somebody, not you don't strike me as somebody who doesn't have a girlfriend, but I like I we're around each other just so you know too frequent, like not too frequently, but enough to know that I know that you probably are single. And I was honest with her. I was telling her like, yo, I don't have a girlfriend. She was
Yeah.
like, but I feel like a side chick, and I'm like, you kind of are to me. I'm
Yeah.
in love with myself so much that like you are just gonna get, you know. And it's I don't get me wrong, like I fuck with you, but at the same time, it's like I'm going to wind myself up in a predicament if I'm too loving.
Yeah.
But I'm single as hell, baby.
That's so. I feel like people get into relationships too fast, if anything, too.
True.
Especially like today. Like I'm not gonna throw any names out there, obviously, but fucking, I see all the time. Like, there's just certain girls who get in relationships like every other like month. It's just fucking weird to me. I don't understand how you can. How you're. I don't know how you're that quick to like jump into another. I don't know. You shouldn't take the relationship super serious, like especially while you're like this young. But like, yeah, you shouldn't be jumping around like claiming the title like that fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's healthy. I feel like you should just. If you're a girl and you want to be with a lot of guys, don't make them like your boyfriends. If anything, just keep fucking them on the low. Like I don't know, just like stop
Yeah,
putting it out there. Cause then if anything, guys are gonna see that and just be like, she's too like clingy because she wants to be in a relationship with like
Yeah.
every guy she talks to. But I'm a fucking idiot and I'm a guy as well, so I don't know.
Yeah, I
But-
think that's no, that's real. I mean, you can't expect or require, not respect, but you can't expect my chivalry.
People should give each other enough time to understand
Give
each other.
themselves a motherfucking time.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like when you're talking to somebody like a girl or whatever, fucking just give each other enough time to mutually know that just like you guys are cool with being each other's fucking
Yeah.
partners.
If I got any advice to my like young dudes or young women out there, I mean young dudes first because this is a fucking man podcast. Young fellas, if you're watching this, man, be careful in over pursuing. Be confident in yourself and know that just because she don't like you does not make her perfect. And women, if you fuck with a dude, fuck with him. Like, fuck him.
Yeah, just make
The longer you wait with some dudes, you let him hit, then he's probably gonna spend that amount of time not talking to you ever again. But
yeah.
that's just some dudes and some women. But I mean, just be honest, be transparent about what you want. Stop trying to be cool. That's another thing that we all have been talking about. Stop trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
All right, so we gotta
Show love.
wrap this shit up. I seen on Twitter that we had like reached like 1,000 views on that one clip.
Yay.
So thank you for people
LeBron every time, baby. LeBron every time.
who watched that and enjoy it. We're gonna continue to put out those little fucking short clips. People seem to be fucking with them a lot. So that, and then appreciate people who reach out and say that they fuck with what we got going on. And
We love you.
yes, you are much appreciated. Continue to fucking share and make this podcast bigger and bigger.
Share, retweet, send it to your friends, send it to your family. And we love you all, and we thank you very much. OD, hit him with that at least 2,000 times.
Also, I'm gonna hit you with a word from the smartest human being that I've ever met in my life,
The bitch is sad. She's mad because I am her dad.
and that is it.
Love you all. Thank you.